Welcome to Live DAF, your online DAF Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem and welcome back to today's DAF Hayomi, Bava Kamma DAF Kuf Ches. We are holding on Kuf Zayin Amud Beis, 3 lines off the bottom. Rabbi Yehuda Kessler. Now we mentioned several times in the past that the concept of paying a chomesh, right, to add on that fifth, is only when you're paying back principal only. So, he made a shvuah and he admitted that he had sworn falsely, pretending the item was stolen, really he himself stole it, etc. So the halacha is like this. If the Eidim are the ones who contradict him, then he has to pay the kefil, but just kefil, double payment, but no chomesh. If he himself self-admits that it was a false oath, then he adds the chomesh. But it's pretty much mutually exclusive. It's not compatible. The kefil doesn't go together with the chomesh, and the chomesh with the kefil. So when you pay principal, you return the actual, value, then you add the chomesh, meaning, i.e. when he himself admitted. But when the Eidim come and prove his, claim to be false, he pays kefil, but no chomesh. So it's one or the other. Here comes a shaila. Mamon, 2 ways to look at it. Do we say the claim, the monetary claim, which generates kefil, cannot generate chomesh? You don't have double jeopardy, right? Mamon, is it the mamon hamachayv kefil poitrim and chomesh cannot generate chomesh? Or it's unrelated to the actual money, to the claim. Rather, it's the shvuah hamachayv kefil b'tosim and chomesh. The shvuah, which this shomer, this watchman / ganav, because he himself stole it, presented, the shvuah that he made, that shvuah that is going to generate a kefil, if, right, i.e. if Eidim come and prove him false, but chomesh cannot as well generate chomesh. So is it an element within the monetary claim itself? You can only generate kefil or chomesh, one or the other? Or is it the shvuah that can only do that? Now, what's the point of discussing this? What's the nafka min? I'll give you a case where one would apply and not the other, and that takes us to the question, right? So, kigoyin shetan tanas ganav. The shomer pretended it was stolen. Sorry. Vinishba, he swore as such. V'chazar v'tan tanas ava. So here's the story. The shomer responds to the owner's claim. Where's my animal? Well, Sunday it was stolen. Okay, and and then he swore, and then he comes around and says, actually, come to think of it, it wasn't really stolen, it was lost. On Monday, he comes and says that it was lost. He swore as such. Now, Eidim show up and contradict his first shvuah, that on Sunday when he swore, then that it was stolen, no, it was really in his own hands. So they undid his first claim, which generates kefil, because now he turns into the ganav, but he himself came around and admitted as per his second shvuah. Well, actually, Monday's shvuah was false as well. So you have sort of 2 tracks, which are rooted in the same monetary claim. They're generated by the same issue, but it's sort of spliced, right? They're branched down into 2 tracks. There's liability as per the Eidim's arrival and as per his own hoidah. What's the halacha? Shall we say, it's the monetary claim. Where's my animal, right? That mamon, which generates kefil as per the Eidim, cannot generate chomesh as per his own admission. He's very chayav kefil. You can't add a chomesh onto that. Or shvuah. Typically, it's the shvuah that can't do one and the other. But here, but in this case, the second shvuah on Monday, it's not generating kefil, the Eidim are. At least let it generate a chomesh. So is it as per the claim or as per the shvuah? Let's try to clarify this. Fellow approaches somebody in the street, not a shomer with whom he entrusted his item. Where's my animal that you stole? The Omer says, never happened. I didn't steal it. Okay, and I'm posing a shvuah on you. He accepts it. The Eidim come along, you stole it. He pays double like a regular ganav. But if instead of the Eidim, he would have admitted that he stole it. So instead of kefil, what happens? It triggers that triple process, mishalim, keren, right? But only if Edom had not arrived and he self-admitted. So it's either or. Hold it. Now look in this case. Edom with the machayiv the kefela. The Edom are the ones who are generating the kefil. And still we say, only if he admitted without the Edom's arrival, then he gets the chaymish. But if his haydah followed the Edom's testimony, there's no chaymish. It's one or the other on the same claim. If it's an element within the shvua, not an element within the claim. A shvua that generates kefil cannot generate chaymish. So what's the issue? The shvua is only generating chaymish. So in the case where the Edom preceded his Eidah, why can't he pay chaymish? The Edom triggered the kefil because of his theft. Forget about the shvua. Shvua is only an element within a shomer. He has to prove he's just a regular thief who was caught red-handed. He pays kefil because of that. The shvua, that would generate chaymish if he admits following the shvua. So why can't he admit after the Edom's arrival and have that haydah generate a chaymish as per his shvua? Look, michti, let's take a look. The shvua that he presented, that's not the cause for the kefil. The Edom are. So at least the chaymish, let it generate a chaymish. Clearly we see from here, it's about the claim. There's no double jeopardy. The monetary claim can only trigger one without the one or the other, either kefil or chaymish. Shmamina. Boy Rabbeinu, comes another shaila, sort of another layer on this question. Chaymish ukfela b'trei gravri mai. So we've concluded that the same claim cannot generate, both liabilities, right? But let's say there are two people involved, two claimants, right? Two defendants, right? And sure, it's rooted in the same claim, but it's presented to two people separately, with two separate liabilities. Here, can we say that one will pay kefil and one chaymish? Exactly how? He handed his animal to two people to watch. They both claimed innocent. It was stolen from us. Now, they reacted differently. Each one had his own, course of action. One of them swore, but then he turned around and admitted that he stole it. So that should generate the chaymish. The second fellow swore falsely, but he was caught red-handed by the Edom, not by way of self-admission. That should generate kefil. So what's the halacha? Miyamin, shall we say b'chad gavra? Shall we say when Torah says there's no double payout? That's only by the same person. But here says the Bach aval b'trei gavri, when two people are involved, two separate claims. Let him pay the kefil, him pay the chaymish. Two different, individuals, two different cases. Or shall we say it's so related to the monetary claim? On the same claim, you cannot result in a kefil and chaymish being paid out. That's exactly what happened here. It's one mamain generating two claims, two penalties, two payouts. So what's the halacha? Take it, we leave it unresolved. Another shayla. So we speak about no double payouts. What about trei chaymish? We have a situation which generates two chaymish payouts, or trei kfeli, or two kefil payouts, b'chad gavra, involving one person. What is the halacha? For instance, kigoyin shatan tanas avad. Where's my animal? He responds, it was lost. Benishban, he swore as such. Then he admitted to swearing falsely. Then he says, actually, come to think of it, it was lost today. Yeah, yesterday was a mistake, but today it was lost. He swore and he admitted. So technically, he has two separate responses, two separate shvois, which after he admits should generate two separate chaymish payouts. Inami, or how can we have a double kefil payout? On Sunday he claimed that it was stolen, he swore, and Edom proved him false. Triggers a kefil payout. Same thing again on Monday. Another kefil. What's the halacha? Shall we say? Previously we mentioned that Torah doesn't want two types of payouts, kefil and chaimish, to be paid out in the same claim. But here, here we're speaking about the same type of payout, kefil times 2, or chaimish times 2. That's not a problem. Or no double payments, period. No double payouts, even if it's the same exact type of payout. You don't pay two payouts on the same moment. Here as well. It's a double payout. So which way is it? Tashma, we're going to try to prove it from a Bryce. Dama Rava. From Rava. The Torah adds the letter Yud at the end. It's spelled Saf, Yudvav. Instead of Chamashi Soy, it's fifth, which is singular. Sav is plural. Many chaimshin on the same claim. Many times chaimish. That proves our point that no problem. Pay as many as you want. Chaimish on top of a chaimish on top of a chaimish. And likewise, double kefils on the same claim is accepted. Okay, going forward, we have several interesting scenarios with the owner claiming and the shomer denying, and with ganav involved. Okay, here we go. Tavu bailam l'shomer. So the animal owner approaches the shomer. Where's my animal? V'nishba, and he says, "Look, I'm sorry, it was stolen." And we know that a shomer chinam, who's not getting paid for his duties, is exempt when there's a robbery, right? So he basically swears to confirm the claim, and he walks away. But as Rashi points out, this fellow was a nice guy. He paid lifnim mishur sadin, beyond his obligations. But then we identify the thief. We caught him. We require a kefil payout, right? He pays double. Who gets the double payout? Now we have to know before we begin. There is a Gemara Bava Metzia that in this type of case where the shomer, initiated this payment, the owner feels hakaras hatayv, and he sort of allows the shomer to collect the kefil. You don't really have to pay it out, right? The fact that you did earns you some bonus points. So if in fact we find the ganav and he pays the kefil, you get the double payout. I get the keren, and you get the extra. Or actually, I already got the keren, so you got the whole thing. So in this case, it wasn't so simple. The shomer first dragged the owner to the bezdin. He gave him a hard time, he gave him a hassle. He made a shvua in the bezdin, and then he decided to pay v'shilem. V'ukar ganav, we find the ganav, and there's kefil. Kefil me, who gets the kefil? No, it goes to the owner. This doesn't go to the shomer. Rava Amar, Lemisha Pekadon Etzle. In this case as well, the shomer earns the kefil. Why? Abaya Amar Labala Pekadon. It goes to the owner. Because here it's different. He hassled him. He took him to the bezdin. He had to force him to make a shvua. In this case, I'm not interested in giving you the kefil. Rava Amar, no. Lemisha Pekadon Etzle, it goes to the shomer. Given the shilem, ultimately he paid out. He was nice about it. So the owner grants him the kefil rights. The machlekes by Rava revolves around how to learn a mishnah. That mishnah in Bava Metzia. This now we have a mishnah on mafkid etzachaver b'mekelim. So this fellow deposits an animal or utensils with his friend. V'nignuvu gets lost or stolen. Shilam v'l'rotzel l'shavah. So the shemechinim could have exempted himself, just made a shvua and walked away. He decided to pay it out. Shilam v'l'rotzel l'shavah. Shariam, we all know shemechinam nishba b'yotzi. You can just swear and he's scot-free. He decided to pay. Now we have further developments in the case. Nimtza ganav, we identify the ganav. Mishal tashlum kefil. He has to pay double for stealing. Or tavach machar, right? So mishal tashlum Bava Kamma pays 4 or 5. Who gets that payout? Miu mishalim. Lamish hapekadon etzle goes to the shomer, right? As a bonus gift from the owner. But nishba v'lerotza the shalim. But alternatively, the shomer chose the shvua option and not to pay. And now, v'nimtza ganav, we find the ganav. So we have the only payouts. Mishal tashlum kefil, tavach machar, mishalim. Tashlum Bava Kamma. Who gets that? To the owner, the Bala Pekad. End of Mishnah. Zok the Gemara, Abaye diik mi reisha. Abaye focuses on the reisha, on the first part. Rava diik mi seifa. Rava focuses on the second part. How? Abaye diik mi reisha. Tani, the Mishnah begins, Shilam v'loratza l'shava. He paid it out without resorting to a shvur. Time with the loratza l'shava. It's only because he didn't resort to the shvur. He didn't hassle him. The owner. The shemer did not hassle the owner. So he gets that, bonus. Nishba, but if he hassled him and he required him to bring him to the bezdin and make a shvur, in this case, no bonus points to the shemer, even though ultimately he decided to pay it out, deal's over. Lemi Mishalim, who's the god of pay? Lamala Pekadin, to the owner. That's Abaye's interpretation. Rava chose to focus on the second part of the Mishnah with an opposite result. Nishba v'lerotza l'shalom. So in the second part of the Mishnah, we have the shemer who swore and was unwilling to pay. Time of the l'rotza l'shalom. That's only because he ultimately didn't pay. But if he decided to pay, even though it followed his shvur, end of the day, he was nice about it, so he earns that bonus payout. Limi mishalim. Who does the gan of pay? L'misha pekadna etzlai, to the shemer. Now, la'abaye kasher seifa. So Abaye has a kasher from Rava's second part of the Mishnah, which sounds like Rava. So Abaye says like this. Abaye will respond, no problem. Hachik tani, the Mishnah means like this. Nishba, v'leratz l'shalim, kalim ashvur. He swore and was unwilling to pay. It means to say, Kaidem HaShvur. He didn't pay before the Shvur. Ela lachar Shvur. He paid, but after the Shvur, Limi Mishalim Baal Pekadin. In this case, even though he paid, he loses that privilege. The Baal Pekadin, the owner, gets it. So Abaye relearned the second part of the Mishnah in accordance with his approach. With Rava Kasha Reisha. Likewise, how's Rava going to deal with the first part of the Mishnah, which sounds like Abaye? That he loses that privilege. Amalach, Rava. Says Rava like this. Hachitani, let's learn the Mishnah like this. Shilim v'leratza. It says Shilim v'leratza l'shava. Perhaps he made a shvur, but he turned around and paid. Shilim v'leratza. He didn't want lamed b'shvus. He was unwilling to stick with the shvur. Meaning to say that he turned around and he paid. So even in this case, right? He swore, but then he turned around and l'shilim and he paid. So he's back on track and he gets that kefal privilege. Limi masham. Who does the god have paid to? Limi shapakadin etzlei, to the shemer. Now a new case. Tavu balam l'shemer. Let's say the owner approaches the shemer. Where's my animal? Oh, sorry, it was stolen. V'nishban, he swore. V'ukar ganav. So basically, the shemer is off the hook. It was armed robbery. I couldn't do anything about it. Okay, he made a shvur. V'ukar ganav. Now we located the ganav and we can salvage the. We can get him to pay. Okay. So now, Tava is Shemer v'Haida. So Shemer still felt, somewhat involved, even though he was really off the hook already. And he approached the Ganav. And he says, where's the thing? V'Haida, the Ganav admitted, sorry, I remember I stole this thing from you. And we know that when a Ganav is Maida, he no longer pays kefil. He's a Maida b'knas, right? He admits to a penalty fine, there's no fine there. So really the crux of the question is, what role does the shemer still have in the story? Is he still a player? Is he still a manda amar who has the ability to confront the ganav and generate that admission, which would now exempt him from kefil? Only a player can do that. Just a stranger approaching the ganav doesn't really generate the same result. The question is the shemer still part of the equation? He already made a shvur, he's gone. The owner expects nothing from the shemer. So who says the shemer's confrontation with the ganav has to be reckoned with? So that's the point of the shaila. Tava is shemer. The shemer approached the ganav, demanded payout. The ganav admitted. And now on Monday, Tavu Bailam B'Kafar. The owner approached the ganav and he denied. Maybe you Adam. Now he brought Adam to disprove the ganav. Okay, and typically that generates kefil. But problem is he was already maida to the shemer, maida b'knas potter. Is it a valid admission or not? Mi niftar haganav b'dal shemer. Did the ganav become exempt from his kefil by admitting to the shemer? Is the shemer still sort of a player in the equation? Or no, maybe the haidah to the shemer is just like to a stranger. Amarava says Rabbi like this. Depends. So we mentioned that the shemer swore that in fact it was robbed, right? If his shvur was real, was legitimate, it really was stolen ba'inus against his will. So the shemer is still a player, meaning, Rashi explains the owner still trusts him. He would be more than happy if the animal was located and taken back to the Shemer's care. He's a good friend of mine. He's an honest fellow. So the Shemer is still sort of very much a player in the equation. He's still a man de Amar. He represents the owner. So niftar haganav by the Shemer. So now when the ganav was made to the Shemer, it's as though he was made to the owner and he's potter from the knas. In B'Sheker Nishma, but if the Shemer was dishonest, when he denied, when he made the shvur that it was, right? He denied, he pretended it was armed robbery, it really wasn't. So in this case, the owner is more than happy to get rid of the Shemer. He fires him. He doesn't want him involved anymore. He's no longer a player in the story. Niftar haganav by the Shemer. So now the ganav is not exempt from kefil by admitting to the Shemer, who's treated like a total stranger. By Rabbi comes a shayla. Amad lishava b'sheker. Let's say the Shemer was about to swear falsely, and the owner, sensing that he was about to go on the wrong track, he backed up. I'm not going to insist on a shvur, but he was about to be very dishonest with the owner. What is the halacha here? On the one hand, perhaps the owner lost trust and he's no longer a player. On the other hand, that's the way people are. Perhaps he was bluffing. He wasn't really going to make the shvur b'sheker, so he still could be considered part of the equation. Take it, we leave it unresolved. So the aforementioned version was Rav Kahana's merged version, but Rav Tavyumi Masni Hachi. Rav Tavyumi had a different version. But Rav had a shaila about a nishba l'sheker ma'o. If the Shemer actually swore falsely, do we say, well, you're off the case. I fired you. I'm not interested in your involvement, so you're not a player. On the other hand, says Rashi, I'll read the Rashi inside. The kivan de l'sheker nishba. So since, although he swore falsely, it's beautiful for Chodesh El, he's going to turn around and regret and do teshuvah and pay for this lost item. So bottom line is, he's still a player. He still has a part in the story. He has a right to pursue the ganav because he feels responsible. He's going to turn around and admit that he swore falsely. He's going to want to pay for it. So ultimately, he still has an interest. He's still motivated. He still has a right to be involved. So which way do we look at it? Mahu take. We leave it unresolved. Next case. Tavu ba'ilum l'shemer. Now we have a case, but if you can imagine it, it's the other way. Just flip the whole thing around. Totally in the reverse. Tavu ba'ilum l'shemer. The owner approaches the shemer. Where's my animal? Vishilim. This time, instead of swearing, he paid it out. Sure, no problem. Take it. Okay? So he paid out the claim, and then they located the ganav. Tavu ba'alam b'hoida. It now flips around. The owner approached the ganav and confronted him, and he admitted to the crime. So he's a moida b'knas. Tavu shemer recovered. When the shemer came to confronted the ganav, he denied, and he made a shvur. Sorry, skip the shvur. He denied it. Vehevi edim, and now the shemer found the edim to contradict the ganav, which would typically now generate the kefil. Problem is, the ganav already admitted to the owner. Question, is the owner any longer involved? Because really the shemer already paid him out, so perhaps the former owner is off the case. So admission to the owner is worthless. And the ganav will not pay kefil. Niftar ganav, but does Baal Mashal, we say the ganav becomes exempt because of the idea to the owner. Or loy, or not. Shall we say, the Gemara explains further, shall we say, the shemer can turn to the owner, I understand, you're the owner, you're the former owner, I'm the new owner, I'm in your shoes because I paid you off. Once you took compensation, you took my payout, you're you're off the table, you're off the case. So the admission to you is worthless. And I want him to pay kefil. Or perhaps the owner can respond to the shemer. Interesting. Listen to this. Ashtikul Musar. Hakaras atoiv ki hechi da'at abdus lan milsa. You remember that you were nice about it. You paid me out. I owe hakaras atoiv to you, right? I want to respond in kind. Ananami abdin lecha. I want to respond in kind. I want to help you out. Tarchin and basad ganva. So now I looked after the ganav. I found I pursued the case further to try to sort of, back you up and pay and help you out. So ultimately, when the ganav admitted to me, shakalna anan dedan ushkal atidach. This is all part of his response. just like I took mine, Shakal Nana Didan, I took that payout from you, I got my payout. Shkal Tidach, I'm concerned about you as well. I wanted to find the Ganav to pay you up. So basically, it is incumbent upon me, because of the Hakaras Hadai factor, right, to assist you in the matter. So I'm a player. I'm entitled to pursue the Ganav. I'm entitled to confront it. And by default, right, the admission to me is considered like an admission to an owner, to the Balab, to the owner. So he's Maideh B'Knas, and he's part to take it. We leave it unresolved. Itmar comes a new shayla. Nignava boinus v'hukar Ganav. So the animal was robbed, boinus, right? Taken forcefully from the shomer. It's a no-fault robbery, okay? So the shomer is pretty much pater. V'hukar Ganav. Now we locate the Ganav, and we have the means of extracting the item from the Ganav. Amar Abai, im shomer chinam hu. So it depends. If the shomer was doing it, free of charge, and his level of responsibility, of course, is very minimal, as long as he doesn't act in a careless manner, he's pater. So here, Ratza, the shomer has a choice. He has two options. Ratza oisa imoidin. If he wants, he can now offer the owner payment and then run after the Ganav and get it. Ratza oisa imoidin, ratza nishbo. Or if he chooses, he can just swear to the owner, this is what happened, and he walks away, and the owner has to deal with the Ganav. Im shemesachu. But if he's a shemesachu, or has a heightened sense of liability because he was paid for the job, he can't just walk away. Now we have the Ganav in front of us. True. If the identity of the Ganav is unknown, then the shomer just swears and walks away. But here we have it. So he has a greater chiyuv, greater responsibility. He can't just swear to the owner and walk away. He has to get the money out of the Ganav, right? He has to pay up the owner and then find it, get it from the Ganav. That's Abai's opinion. A shemer sachar is responsible to a higher degree than a shemer chinam. Rava Amar, no, doesn't matter. Whether he's a shemer chinam or shemer sachar, his responsibilities are the same. He can't just walk away. Now that you know where the Ganav is and you have the ability of extracting it from him, you have to pay the owner, give him a check, and then you run after the Ganav. It's all part of your responsibilities. So this distinction, this sort of blanket approach by Rava, seems to be in disagreement with Rav Huna bar Abin. The Shalach Huna bar Abin, he sent a halacha. Right, it was taken boinus. Now we located the Ganav. It depends what he is. Right? Different levels of responsibility. Im shemer chinam hu, no problem. Ratza oisim aydin, ratza nishbe has a choice, one way or the other. Im shemer sachar hu, there's no choice in the matter. Oisim aydin ve'ein nishba. You can't just swear to the owner and exempt yourself. You have to pay up and then find the Ganav and get it from him. They have the Ganav. You have to go, do that effort to extract it from the Ganav. Amalch Rava responds, well, that's a different story. Rav Huna bar Abin's case is speaking kigon shekadav v'nishba. The reason why a shemer chinam could just walk away with a shvur is because he already made the shvur before they found the Ganav. So he's sort of off the hook. He's gone. He's no longer a shemer. He's no longer bound to the owner. But if he would not have made a shvur yet, then he can't. He has to go deal with the Ganav. V'ratza oisei maydin. Ratza nishba ka'ama. But Rav Huna bar Abin clearly said he has two options. Whether he's a shemer chinam or shemer sachar, Ratza this, Ratza that. Either he swears or, right? So clearly he didn't make the shvur yet. How can you say it's post shvur? Hachikami means like this: Ratza shemechinam. If he's a shemechinam, he can choose to be oived b'shvur asay, to stick with the shvur that he already made, which sort of cut off his relationship with the owner, right? Ceased, his responsibility ceased to be active. So it's already post shvur. Ratza oisim oidin, or if he chooses, he can go ahead and pay the owner and go find the money from the Ganav. Okay, so bottom line is, it was stolen by us. Now we located the Ganav. We have means of taking it from the Ganav. How far do we take the shamer's responsibility? How far does he have to go to placate the owner? According to Abaye, Only a Shemer Sachar needs to do that. Shemer Chinim can just walk away with a Shvua. Rabbi disagrees. Unless you already made a Shvua and he's done, but otherwise, even a Shemer Chinim has to endeavor to retrieve it from the Ganav. Rabbi Zuti, that was his name, Boilach, he had a different approach to the Shaila. Nignava Ba'oines v'hechser Ganav v'vei Shemer. So it was stolen Ba'oines from the Shemer, and the Ganav gave it back to the Shemer. He had second thoughts. One morning, the animal shows up back at the Shemer's place. Umeisa Pshia. Now the Shemer was not interested in what he just neglected it, and it died. Typically, Pshia is the Shemer's responsibility. But the question is, I did my job. It was stolen. I'm off. That's it. I'm off the case. Ma, what is the halacha? Miyamina shall we say? Give it the digva ba'inus. Once that happened, Kalile Shmirasa, his job is over. His Shmira ceased to be active. Right? He sort of lost that title. So it doesn't fall any longer under my care, under my responsibilities. I can be Pesheya, Edum, or no, Kivan the Hadra, since the animal was returned to his possession, Hadra. Lishmirasa, so it goes back to the Shmira status. He's sort of, back on track, and he has to be careful. He can't do Pshia, take it, we leave it unresolved. So bottom line is like this, we have many, many shilas. First one dealt with Kefil vis-a-vis Shvua, vis-a-vis Chaimish, and we said that it cannot be generated by the same monetary claim. What about if it involves two separate people? One is going to do the Kefil, one the Chaimish? We're not sure. But a double Chaimish or a double Kefil, that works. That's okay. Shemer Chinim can just get away with a Shvua. What if he made a Shvua but he decided to pay afterwards? Does he get the Kefil eventually when the Ganav is located? What if the Shemer already made a Shvua and walks away, and then he, we find the Ganav and he confronted the Ganav? So is the Haidah to the Shemer considered a Haidah to the, claimer, the Baal HaMammon? So Rabbi says it depends whether it was a Shvuas Emes or Shvuas Sheker, in which case the Baalim wants him off the case and he's no longer a player. We had another version that this was actually a Shaila which was unresolved. And we had a Shaila, if he was about to be Nishbal Sheker, is he considered off the case or not? We left that as a Teiku. A similar Shaila when the Shem actually paid the owner. And now the owner got involved and pursued the Ganav who was Maida to him. Is that considered a Idah, Teiku? If it was Nigna Ba'inus, and now we find the Ganav, how far is the Shemer responsible? Does he have to pursue the Ganav? Can he just walk away with a Shvua? We had a Mashayla, a Shemer Chinim, Shemer Sachar, Abaye and Rav. All the best to you and Atzlacha Rabbah.